And
Hi, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the attic. And a little bit more core for more core and more for swimmers. Anyway, week 2, and we have the same little handout with just a few little additions. I'm going to take this one as if it's a class, but I'll only ever do anything just one round. So you can come back to this again as a little refresher. So yeah, I hope everyone felt good after last week, and you'll need a strap as well as one block for this week. So starting with our cat cows, again, I'll just go through some of the basic setup for it. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. I like to curl my toes and just, again, a few little movements as you extend and flex the back. This is one of the best exercises to warm the body up, to move the spine, to just sort of transition from whatever it was you were doing to being here now. You can add some rolling cats if you'd like. You can widen the knees and move into some bigger hip circles. Just really kind of give yourself, 1 to 2, 3 minutes of just sort of arriving and getting warm so that you set yourself up. And then we move into that alternating legs and arms. So again, setting up from our tabletop, you're going to press that right leg back, strong, curl the toes, press the thigh to the sky, and just let that same awareness. So you saw my back sway, engage those transverse abdominals, those little coughing muscles, extend that hand if you like, return it back. And again, let yourself press, extend, thigh high, and remember, engage that core. So there's that sensation again of that swimming downhill. You can do 10 reps on each side, nice, smooth, and deliberate at wherever you're at. Maybe you find that you set yourself up by just starting with that thigh to the sky. Raise it, feel that extension, feel yourself, and that's what happens when we swim. Nice and smooth, and let yourself move through these without a lot of shift through the hip, engaging that core, letting yourself just sort of play where you're at. So you give yourself the opportunity for the body to start from the core and then work to the components and the coordination. So that's a nice little way to warm up, gets the body sort of set for what it is we're going to do. So today we're going to start with our plank, and we're going to start with our arms. So again, we're here. You're setting yourself either from your toes, strong in alignment, hands, and remember that index finger mound and the engagement of your middle, your index finger and your thumb. And you're pressing that to take that weight out of your wrist. And then from here, draw the shoulder blades back. And again, feel, and I'm contracting my quads. I'm pressing into the earth. And we want to hold, this week, I have us holding 2 by 45 seconds. And again, if it's too much, start where you're at. And you breathe. I'm not going to be here for 45 seconds, giving you a little reference. And then you allow yourself to rest. I like to send my knees wide, send my hips back, move into a little child's pose with side to side movement. And then again, set yourself up, maybe staying or moving on to our elbows. So again, this is often a little more challenging in the core simply because you're taking the strength of your arms out. The minute you feel that back start to sway, you either stop or maybe just drop to your knees, right? Remember, meet yourself where you're at. Shoulders draw down the back, and you're just letting yourself look down, long spine. Maybe add, again, strong, and you're just breathing. And let yourself breathe, let yourself have that ability to be smooth and strong, work to the edge, but not compromise form. And exhale, release. And again, bring the knees in, send the hips back, give the shoulders a little break. Always nice to give your wrists a little movement. So important to take the time in between. Now we're going to go back and start with that bridge with the block. So we've really, you should be able to feel that core. So moving into plank, is pretty aggressive right off the top, but it's a really great way to fire up those muscles, to feel like you've got that transverse abdominals engaged. So bridge with block. We like to use that block so that we get that sensation of the scissoring up through our midline. And so by taking the feet, and remember, don't move your head once you're in this position, by taking your feet hip width apart, you allow yourself to either place the block short, middle. If you've got wider hips, you're going to have it wider, right? So you just kind of meet yourself where you're at, engage that core, shoulders draw down the back. I like to cactus those arms, press my feet into the floor. And again, the action is pressing your hips up, sending the knees forward to allow your hips to rise in a nice long straight line, keeping the head looking at the ceiling. Other alternatives, you can certainly keep those arms down to the floor. And again, you hold, you feel that little opening, but also the strength. And then on your exhale, release. Vertebrae by vertebrae, remove the block. Give yourself maybe a few windshield wipers to just loosen it up, keep things nice and neutral. And you can always repeat that. We then add maybe a leg lift. So you're obviously going to have to remove the block, but you set it up exactly the same way. You're here, shoulders draw down the back. Continue, start with the block and feel what it feels like to engage so that that block doesn't move. Remove the block and keep that same integration. Let the shoulders draw down the back. Lift as you let the knees move forward, pressing in. And here you've got your shoulders, don't move your neck, your shoulders and your feet on the floor. You can place your hands, if you want, on your hips and those transverse abdominals as you lift one leg. And again, you're only going parallel to the leg that is still on the floor. So the leg is going extending. It's not coming up. We don't need to do that. We've got a little bit of that coming on later. And you're just keeping the, oh, I moved my head. Don't do that. You're keeping your hips as level as they can. You're trying to avoid shifting right to left. And you're letting yourself keep that core strong. And you can alternate for a total of 10. Release it. Let the legs go wide, little side to side. And you can do that 2 times through. Then we had that new one, and I've got 2 new ones this week for you, one core and one stretch. But last week, one that most of you hadn't seen, which I just thought was awesome, is the block to elbow with the bicycle. So we're basically moving from that lift position and the engagement. So here, you're again letting the knees come 90 degrees. You're letting your block come to that left thigh. And then you let yourself press your back into the floor, engage it, send that elbow, let your chin come to your chest. And from here, you're simply letting that right leg release down and up. Keep it breathing down and up. One more time. Well, actually 2 more times. Last week, we did it a total of 4. Whoops, and see that block almost slipped. And then from here, on the next time you do it, you're going to let that leg stay long. And then you're just going to press into that block. 2 little pumps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the knee in. Release it down. Legs go wide. Little windshield wipers. We'll do the same thing to that other side. Give yourself time in between. And then once again, knees come up, heel toe the feet. Take that block as you lift the knees. Feel the engagement of those transverse abdominals. Tuck the chin to chest. Send the back down to the floor. Take that block. Place the elbow. Wrap the hands behind the head. And you can feel this right now already. Strong. And again, one time with the leg. So it just hovers around 6 inches to 12 inches off the floor. Super slow and deliberate. 2. Remember to breathe. 3. Number 4 coming up here. Keep that block. See, sometimes it will release. We are all just practicing. Send that leg, and then from here, little pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring that leg back in. Release. Legs to the floor, and a few windshield wipers. Nice. So a new addition this week is one where we have our legs high to the sky and block, and we're going to just bring and lower that leg. So last week we did boat pose. This week we're replacing it with this, which I find more integrated to the core, same effect without sort of having to work on balance. Doesn't mean I don't want you to try both, but I just wanted to add one more in this week. So here we go. We lift the legs up. We let yourself engage that core, bring it in, and you're going to send those legs here. And it's strong. Thighs. You've got your hands near your ears or clasped behind. Legs are up and the back is strong, and you're going to lower one leg. 1, 2, 3, slow and deliberate. 4, we're going to do 6 today. 5, keep breathing. Last one, bring the leg back up, release, and let yourself do a few windshield wipers. So again, the back is strong into the mat, engaging through that core as you come into that little abdominal crunch. We'll do the same thing to the other side. So again, this is very much with the long extended legs, allowing you to think about when you kick, it's toned and engaged, but not tight or rigid. Here we go. Legs go up. I like to point my toes simply because that's what we do. The toes are tending to be pointed when we swim. We don't want to kick like this. We want to kick like this. So here we go. Send that block on that thigh. Let yourself bring one and then the other. Press into that block as you let that opposite leg drop gently and rise it. Remember, see that back, it's close to the mat. You're breathing. It is slow and deliberate. Do not rush this move. That's 3 and 4 and 5. Keep pressing into that block. One more. Last one. Release, remove the block. So you can repeat that for wherever you're at, 10, 15. You just don't want to feel like you get really guarded while you're doing it, right? You want to feel like there's a bit of fluidity, because that's what happens when we're out in the water. We're wanting to be fluid. So then we've done a lot of that core. I always like to add a little bit of those cat-cows again. It's also a nice transition. You can kind of add if you wanted to. I'll actually do this transition for you. Back up. This is what happens when you take take those hands. We were here. You can take those hands and you can play a little bit to get into your boat pose and just play with that and just sort of feel that. I don't have it in this week, but it's a nice transition because we're going to move into our cat-cow. And again, it's just nice after we've been working a lot to feel that extension, that flexion, let the body move through those various movements. Then we're going to move back onto our Supermans for our belly. So again, I like a flying Superman or also a lotus. Set it up from the base. The heels come together. The shoulders draw up and down. Pelvis into the floor. Sit bones towards your heels. You can lift just legs. You can lift just upper body. You can lift both legs and upper body. And you're going to want to hold this for around 30 seconds. Again, the extension is from the top of my head to the tips of my toes, lengthening away. You can add the arms up if you want. Again, we're not trying to strain that low back. Keep sending that tailbone. Lift, lift, extend, extend away. Feel long.
when you release the head to one side. And again, it's nice to do each side at least once. So you do at least 2 reps because it allows yourself to rest your head one direction or the other. Sort of the same idea as when we breathe, when we swim. Oftentimes when we breathe and swim, we breathe always to one side. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just quite unbalanced as far as a movement over and over again. So every once in a while, it's nice to just explore the opposite side. Cobra pose is more of a stretch as we start to transition from our core to our stretch. And that cobra pose is a very similar sensation that we just did, but now we're wanting to open up the chest, a little back bend to extend with a little action. So again, feet are parallel, heels and toes are in the same alignment. Hands come down towards sort of that nipple line, for lack of a better word. Elbows come together, send that tailbone down, send the feet so strong into the floor that your knees rise, and then you just gently let yourself lift here. And you should always be able to breathe. You should always be able to feel like you're in control and you're lengthening as you're almost pressing yourself, that chest forward and up. So there's no discomfort through that low back. And again, I always like to do these twice so that I place my head one direction between each, and so that each side has had its opportunity to have that neck rotation. Because it's not always equal, and we know that. So coming from Cobra pose, we move into our child's pose again. Nice little movement through those hips. Moving into our thread the needle. So now we've completed the core for today. And we're moving into our actual stretches. So I like to keep my feet with my toes curled. It gives me just a little bit more stability, I find. And here I'm working on a twist as opposed and a stretch as opposed to so much core. So here I take my right hand, I reach it high to the sky. I send that right hand, and I'll actually face this direction. I send that right hand underneath, letting myself tent my hands, press, so that this now allows me to draw my right shoulder back as I open up my chest towards the sky into a little twist, trying my best to keep my sit bones level, keep my back of my neck long, and let yourself breathe. I like to hold these for anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. You might even feel it a little bit in your side bodies. Again, you're going to feel it wherever you feel it, but it's a nice opening to that shoulder. On your inhale, let yourself press up and a few shoulder circles. Same thing to that other side. Hands underneath the shoulders, just set up as if you're doing your regular cat-cow. Left hand reaches high. Now send that left hand underneath, palm facing. That right hand, I like to tent, particularly because it allows me to add a little bit of anchoring to let myself move into a bit of a twist here. Drawing that left shoulder back and letting yourself breathe. Again, holding it anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. On your inhale, engage your core, let yourself come up. And again, it's always nice just to kind of move the body. Moving into our seated twist. Again, this week, it's just a nice way. We've been doing a lot of flexion and extension. The other movement our spine does is twist. So move anything out of the way. Take the hands, place them so that you can lift that leg so that it's a comfortable position. That front leg is engaged. Take the hands, a few cat-cows here, just letting yourself broaden and extend once again. Then you're going to come to neutral. Right hand takes that outer shin. Left hand, again, I like to tent it, or you can always place a block if you've got a little bit more, if it's hard for you to get up tall, right? So what we're trying to avoid is that slouching of the back. We just want length. So either tenting that hand will give you that, or alternatively, if you feel like you have short arms, let yourself have long arms by bringing the earth. Foot is engaged, and we're just letting that twist release. Breathing, shoulders back, and then just nice and smooth. In and out. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me because I'm facing the other way. Exhale, release. I'll do it this way this time. Left leg out in front. Give them a shake. Same thing, those cat-cows. Let yourself move through, right? Just broaden, extend.
Draw the shoulder blade, take that block if you want a little extra height, that left hand, and again, you're just letting that twist release, shoulders draw down the back. If you have room, feel free to bring that elbow in. What we're trying to avoid is this. I've got a twist. You're not really, you're just kind of collapsing. So you want that length, let that twist release through both side bodies long, and then let that breath move you through it. We did that wide-legged V last week, and we'll do that again this week. Again, take those legs as wide as you can, give them a nice little shake. Then you're gonna place that left foot into your right thigh. This is that QL. I like to place that block underneath my knee, so it gives my knee some reference so that my sit bones can be nice and level. Take that strap around, and then take that strap 1 or 2 times. Left hand comes again, tent, find that height, square up over the short left. And I can see right now for me, my right side wants to get short. I want to make sure that I'm doing my best to keep both side bodies long, lift high to the sky, press that hand into that strap strong, reach up and over. And you can often use that elbow if you want. And you're letting yourself keep opening your upper body towards the sky. That's what's going to allow you to really target that QL as you breathe. And that left hand just reaches towards the toes. And you're here. And again, you can be here for 30 to 60 seconds. Let yourself breathe in and out. Keep opening to the sky. Maybe tuck the chin towards the chest so the back of the neck stays long. And breathe in and out. One more. And on your inhale, rise. Then you're going to take that over that right long leg, shoulders draw down the back. Take those hands, find that length. Sit bones are level, really press into that left side and let yourself lengthen your sternum towards your toes. So again, you're trying to find length through that body, nice and tall. Once you've come to your full range of motion, then you might feel like you want to release that head to the knee. A few things that we can think of. If you need to place something underneath your knee, do so. You can roll up a blanket, a sweater. If you have another block handy, you can place it. You don't want to have a lot of discomfort in that long extended leg. And then you just let yourself soften. You take that strap, same thing other side, let the legs shake, extend that left leg, let that right leg, place that block under, and same setup here. Strap to foot, 1 or 2, super strong with that. Draw the heel in, square up over that short right side. Inhale that hand high so the palm faces center. Keep letting that rotation release. Inhale, and as you exhale, you let yourself soften over towards that left side. You can see my left foot is still anchored. It's strong, it's engaged, and that's what allows you to lift up and over and turn and just explore where you feel you might need to find a little bit more space or have the opportunity to find a little bit more space. On your inhale, let yourself rise. Exhale, release, shoulder circles, squaring up now over the long left side. Once again, take the straps from either side. Let yourself draw yourself forward, releasing the shoulders down the back, sternum towards those toes, and let your head release. You breathe in and out. And release. And again. So again, you can hold each and every one of these 30 to 60 seconds. Perfect. We're going to add some shoulder stretches with the strap today. So it's an addition to what we did last week. Sometimes it's nice to sit on a block. Other times you can sit cross-legged. It's up to you. You're going to be sitting for a while. So again, sometimes it's nice to do a few cat-cows. You might feel you need to have 2 blocks to sit on. You don't want any discomfort through those knees. So this is just a series of shoulder stretches that I find really beneficial to open up, particularly if we do a lot of freestyle, right? So we spend a lot of our day like this anyway. So let the shoulders draw down the back, let the strap come up. And this is simply allowing that strap to be taut So strap is strong. Yeah, I've got it placed in my thumb crease and I'm just releasing it away. It's not a death grip. Ribs to back body to keep side bodies long and to not balloon out the front. And then you're just letting yourself move with that strap taut. You're going to inhale it high. As you exhale, you're reaching that strap away. You might find that you increase your distance of your hands in order to do so. Again, keep the ribs to back body so you're not ballooning. Now, wherever that strap is in length, that's where you keep it and you keep it taut. So keep going here, just inhaling high and exhaling, belly button to spine, release that strap back. So I'm just going to give you an example of what sometimes happens with the ribs and the chest. So in this position, that's why I like sitting on the block, it gives us a really nice neutral spine. When we have that strap and we go back, we often kind of arch, right? Which isn't really what we're looking for if we're trying to isolate our shoulders. So tuck the ribs to back body, extend those arms away. And now there's nothing that changes as you move from forward to overhead, ribs to back body to behind. And it's just a really nice way to open up the shoulders. So that's stretch number one. Stretch number two, you're going to keep that strap. And we're just going to move into our triceps and such. So you're going to take the hand strap and you're going to take that right hand and have it high. I'm not sure if you can see me. I'm going to change the angle of my computer screen because I don't think you can see high enough. There we go. All right. So I have that strap in my one hand. My right hand is high. My left hand has the palm facing back. I send that onto my sit bones and then I drop my right elbow and then I find the strap and I just start to work towards with a little bit of pressure of my head into that forearm. And I'm just going to turn around so you can see what it looks like at the back. So you're here, strap is high, palm behind, send that towards the base of my back, and then drop into that right side, and then use your strap to draw your hands together. Now, you might be able to clasp, and that's great. But if you can't, that's what the strap allows you. And then you pull almost away, draw, but you can see, again, the tendency is for our ribs to sometimes balloon out. So we're here, and we are ballooning out through those, draw the ribs in, extend and lengthen, and let yourself press your head gently into the back. To release to the other side, let that left hand slide, inhale, right hand high. Simply change at the top, same thing. So I have a huge difference in this side. My left arm comes down, nowhere close am I, but again, I just meet my body where it's at, shoulder draws down, press the head slightly into that, and you should feel a nice, nice stretch. And then release. So again, you can hold that, do that 2 times through, and then the final one that I like, you can get rid of the strap, is we move into what I call just opening that through the shoulder. So you extend both hands wide, T position, same height as your shoulders. Bring that right hand around and pause when it gets to the point that it can't move and stay straight. Take that other hand, draw your shoulder down, and then press your hand into the forearm, your forearm into the hand. Let yourself just open up, draw the shoulder, and just feel that little bit of opening up through the back of the shoulder. And then release, same thing, other side. Extend out long. Left hand comes around only as far as it stays straight. Right hand comes into it. Draw the shoulder away from your ear as you draw and keeping that arm straight. That left arm is engaged, it's active. Beautiful. And then release. And again, you can hold for 20, 30, up to 60 seconds, depending on how your shoulders feel. And then we finish off the night with that lovely supine twist. There's lots of variations on a supine twist. Let yourself roll back, bring your knees into your chest, maybe a nice little movement here to just kind of
prepare yourself for being back on the ground. I sometimes like to do some windshield wipers. And then from here, it can be as simple as even just leaving the legs in that windshield wiper, letting that upper thigh be heavy. Let your left ear come to the floor and just let yourself move here into this twist. Same thing, then other side, the knees, draw the head. And so you've got a twist from the spine through to the base, or the upper spine through to the base of your spine to your sacrum. If you feel you need a little bit more into that spine, then traditionally I like to take the knees up 90 degrees, engage that core, let yourself drop your knees to one side, let yourself keep that left shoulder grounded, take that hand on top of the thigh, draw that thigh maybe, and just let yourself soften that upper body into the lower body and the lower body into the ground. As you breathe in and out. One more full round. Release. And again, I like to take a little massage to that back, neutralize before I move on to that other side, setting it up, let the legs drop, right leg up. And again, each side's different. I have way less rotation to this side, so it might be beneficial for me to place that block in between my legs on this side, right? So that I can feel like that body and that upper leg can release nice and easy. And you just breathe here in and out. Belly button to spine. And on your inhale, let yourself rise. One final snug little hug. And voila. So keep in mind that these little segments are just really short blurbs of the poses or shapes or core work or stretches that we are working on for this week. I'm going to put a final class together for that final one that you'll always have as a reference. But the whole purpose is to start to build a repertoire of core and stretch that works for you and what your body's needs are. So thanks, everyone. I hope you had a great Monday. And I look forward to seeing you later today in person. And yeah, again, any questions, just ask.
Ciao, ciao.